Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the Nemoli Family Athletic and Intramural Complex, home of your University of Tampa Spartans. Tonight we are celebrating the 10th anniversary of our men's lacrosse program. Tonight the Spartans welcome Florida Southern College. At this time we ask you to please rise as we honor America with the playing of our national anthem. Here are tonight's starting lineups, beginning with the Mocs of Florida Southern, who enter tonight's game with a record of 9-3. Number 3, Jeff Atlas. Number 4, Craig Connor. Number 8, Sean Nolan. Number 13, Zach Fitzgerald. Number 18, Nick Shannon. In goal, number 27, Maxwell Freestone. Number 32, Philip Chevret. Number 37, Griffin Phillips. Number 44, Matt Flemensbeck. And number 55, Kevin Horowitz. For your Spartans, for the Spartans, number 3, Brady Stoll. Number 4, Blake Almer. Number 7, Connor Larkin. Number 9, Sean Nazolek. Number 10, Matthew Beto. Number 12, Sam Collingwood. Number 13, Cormac McCarthy. Number 14, Braden Williams. Number 16, Mike LaPointe.
Good evening and welcome to the Nemoli Family Athletic and Intramural Complex on the grounds of the University of Tampa campus. This evening, the number 1 ranked Tampa Spartans playing host to the number 11 ranked Florida Southern Mocs. I'm Bruce Wozniak here to call the action for you along with Taylor Stolworthy on a special night for Tampa Lacrosse as the 10th anniversary of the program is being celebrated this evening. And Taylor, a good crowd on hand as a result.
There certainly is. I mean, we've got a lot of people here ready for this matchup. Not only is it a great night for Tampa as a whole for lacrosse, not only is it a doubleheader, we got ourselves a little bit of a rivalry too. Florida Southern being the visiting team, a Sunshine State Conference rival regular. As I've done some previous commentary with Tate Gebhardt, and he's mentioned that Florida Southern has been a rival in some sports with the Spartans. So we'll see if that rivalry boils over here to lacrosse tonight. And as you also said, it is the 10th anniversary for the Spartans, and you've been a part of every Tampa men's lacrosse season.
And the Spartans come in tonight undefeated, 11-0 this season, and Florida Southern an impressive 9-3 1-loss record. So a couple of Sunshine State Conference lacrosse powerhouses here as the game is underway. The Spartans wearing all white this evening, the Mocs all in red. As you see, a pass that misses there, and now picked up by Ethan Paduch. Over to Owen Miller. Miller has a little bit of a lane, opts not to shoot, now tries to go one-on-one against the defender, spins back the other way, and doesn't have a shot opportunity. In front, they score! Just like that, Colin White buries it 51 seconds in, and no goal.
Yeah, it looks like it was ruled out from a goal.
And probably a crease violation. We'll have to see the replay, but in the meantime, the Spartans do get the ball back. And so just when it looked like Colin White had opened things up, the Spartans will get a second chance, a do-over almost, as in possession now is Harry Kilkowski, and Kilkowski sends it to Owen Miller as fans still coming into the stadium here on what is, in my opinion, an unseasonably cool Saturday night here in West Central Florida. Our temperature only at 62 degrees as there's a shot that goes wide and out of play. Kilkowski will put it back in play from behind the Mocs net. And now it's sent up top. That's Daniel Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick, as a defensive switch is made, takes a shot and deflected and goes out of play. The starting goaltender for Florida Southern this evening is Maxwell Freestone, a junior from Scottsdale, Arizona. As the Spartans go back to work on him, Kilkowski scores! A sneaky little shot by Harry Kilkowski, and that one does stand. So the Spartans get the game's first goal, not in the first minute, but at the 1:48 mark.
It took a little bit longer, but the Spartans finally break through. We can see the play originates from behind the back. He just comes around and catches Freestone off guard with a quick, close-range shot, firing it home to give the Spartans a 1-0 lead. It's a great start to the Spartans, who are looking to go 12-0 on this 10th anniversary night.
And for Harry Kilkowski, that is goal number 15 on the season. As you see, the face-off for UT, that was Hunter Turner. And the Mocs now with an opportunity here to go to work against Blake Ulmer, the Spartans starting goaltender once again. And in the corner is Jeff Atlas. Up top with it now. Pass relayed from Jack Frazee and into the corner. And now back up top. It's Minor. A pass over and gets it right back. And now sent over to Medeiros. Andrew Medeiros across the Spartans line. Deep in behind the Spartans net and a pass out. And it looked like there was going to be a shot coming, but ran out of real estate. And it's in behind the Spartans net. A little spin move there by Atlas. Pass out in front, misses. And that one's going to go across midfield. And possession to UT. So Colin White puts it back into play. And now Charlie Bolish, who just stepped on the field. Bolish to Nick Papa, who just came on as well. And back to Bolish. Nick Papa looks and sees Ronan Sanchez, who just came on, but keeps it himself. Now Papa leaves it back for Sanchez. Sanchez looking to go one-on-one, crosses the Florida Mocs line. And here's Papa down low, and there's a shot by Kilkowski. Might have been deflected as it goes out of play. Looked like it might have gone off the stick of one of the Mocs.
Yeah, it was either that or just a nice little save. Hard to tell, but good defense from the Mocs, whether it was a save or deflection, to prevent that from going in. The Spartans will regain possession, though, so no harm and no foul on losing and missing that shot right there.
27 on the shot clock for the Spartans as Bolish has it in behind the net. Up top to Colin White. Papa fakes the pass, looks to go one-on-one, and a long shot, and a good save there by Freestone. And so Florida Southern starting out of their own end. They've got a strong contingent of their own fans here this evening.
It's always great when you see fans of both teams. It brings more fun and excitement, especially when you see the other team score and you hear some roars from the crowd.
Craig Connor sends it up for Atlas. And Atlas over for Clayton Mensch. And now he steps just over the Tampa line. Leaves it back for Glasser. Brendan Glasser waits. And now to Brandon Robichaux, who had just stepped on. And across the Tampa line, nothing there. It's sent over for Atlas. Atlas over to the other side. That's Munch. And now up top, they swing it over to Atlas on the near side. Atlas up top sends a pass over. And good defense there. As in front, they score.
And that was kind of ironic. You mentioned good defense, and that was an immediate commentator's curse. As right after that, the Mocs were able to make a good play. As you see right here, a brilliant cut just getting behind the Spartans defenders and getting a free one-on-one look. And at point blank, that's almost impossible to stop. So the Mocs, now with 9:52 to go in the first quarter, are able to tie it up. So good job by Matt Flammenspec. It was also assisted by Brendan Glazer with that great pass.
And so now the face-off, that was Hunter Turner for the Spartans. And Kevin Horwitz for the Mocs as the ball is loose. And now the official right there on the spot and calls it in favor of the Mocs. And now Jeff Atlas waits as his team makes personnel changes. Out steps Andrew Medeiros, and hold on, there's whistles. And this is the official on the far side of the field, closer to the Spartans' goal, that's making the call. And so now play resumes as Jay Miner sends a pass over. And here come the Mocs, who have just tied it. And running out of room there was Edward May, and the Spartans looked like they were going to cause a turnover. No. Possession stays with Florida Southern, and Atlas on the move now. And being watched by Matthew Badeau, and now a pass. And nothing available for Medeiros. He has to send it in behind the net. And now starting from back there is Sean Nolan, and that one goes out of play. Possession stays with Florida Southern. 35 still on the shot clock for them. And here's Miner. A pass back, and good ball movement here by the Mocs, and a shot that's going to go out of play, and still the Mocs ball, and 26 seconds remain on the shot clock. Sam Collingwood goes off for the Spartans. Might be looking for a little bit of medical assistance, and he's going to be replaced by Sean Nazolek.
I was looking at him. I think he had tripped and fell, and he was definitely favoring something. Might have been his leg. Hopefully he's okay, and we'll see him back shortly, but for now he's going to take a breather. As the Mocs will be able to resume play with 26 on the shot clock.
And when they do, it's Jeff Atlas, the junior from up in Islip, New York, who's waiting behind the Spartans' net as two officials talk things over on the far side. And now they're ready to resume. Well, now the official had signaled to restart and was called back over by one of his officiating partners. And this all comes with 8:37 left here in the first quarter. And one of the officials going over to the scorers table now. So let's see if we're actually going to get a call here. And thus the delay in play restarting after all. And the official now talking to Florida Southern head coach Marty Ward. And that conference is, for all intents and purposes, finished as the official returns to the field following whatever was said to Marty Ward. And now play resumes. And so Atlas goes in behind the Spartans' net. Pass to Miner. And Miner with a shot that Ulmer looked like he got a piece of. It goes out of play in the far corner. And 15 remaining on the shot clock for Florida Southern. And a pass from behind the net. And here's an opportunity. They score. Jay Miner and the Mocs take the 2-1 lead.
Minor had an open look on the play previously after the save by Ulmer, but this time he cuts once again to the outside of his man and fires a shot that just is able to beat Ulmer and give the Mocs a lead. And I will say, it's kind of weird. Spartan defender there fell for the move twice in a row. Those were basically the exact same look. The only difference is this time Minor was able to capitalize to get his first goal of the game.
Hunter Turner and Kevin Horwitz out there for the faceoff. And Turner looked like he was going to have it, and now the ball's loose. And a procedure call, the official there giving possession to UT. And so the Spartans go to work trailing for the first time in the game, which is not even halfway through the first quarter. A lot of lacrosse left to be played here tonight between two Sunshine State Conference rivals. And with it now for the Spartans is Christopher Sessla. Kellen Hoke gets the return pass. Hoke wants to shoot. He goes down and hacked at there by Craig Connor. And now things are getting rough as the ball is loose. And it'll be chased down by the Mocs and losing possession. And so the Spartans get a favorable bounce there. And it stays with UT.
A little bit of chaos there for the Spartans, but they're going to come out on top of the ball there. Saw some shoving, some hacking, everything going back and forth. You can tell that there's going to be a fun match if you're a fan of those types of physical interactions.
Yeah, no love lost between these two teams. As you see the shoulder go down, Owen Miller tried to plow ahead and couldn't. Cole Willard. Willard, a long shot, and a good eye there by Freestone to stop that one. And so Florida Southern will bring it up now.
That was just a great shot, but an even better save by Freestone to deny an equalizer. It's still very early on, and as the adage goes, they have to open the door eventually when you knock on it for Halloween. But Freestone looking cool, calm, and collected as play now advances.
And there's a shot, he scores. Brendan Glasser, and give him credit, single-handedly brings it in and beats the outstretched leg of Blake Ulmer for a 3-1 lead for the Mocs.
Yeah, we can take a look at the replay right here. Glasser comes up, he's got some space, he says, hey, let me just fire it, and gets past the leg with a brilliant bounce shot to get his second point and first goal of the game. Glasser was able to assist the opener. So a great start for him, and the Mocs take an early lead, and even though Spartans look better on paper, not surprising to see it very close, and the Mocs get off to a good start. Now it's up to the Spartans to have to respond, but the Mocs will be able to get away with the draw. Spartans will do recover it eventually.
That once again was Turner and Horwitz going head-to-head on the faceoff. And now the Spartans finally settle things down, and they start out of their own end. Here's a pass over for Cormac McCarthy. McCarthy on the move, looks for some help, and gets it from Owen Miller. Miller jogs it up. Miller waits as a couple of his teammates come from the sideline. That's Daniel Fitzpatrick with it now. Fitzpatrick scores! A sneaky little shot by Daniel Fitzpatrick, and the Spartans answer right back. It's 3-2.
Spartans had conceded 2 in a short period of time, so this was an important goal to get right back into it, and a brilliant goal at that. He's able to get past his defender, fire a shot home that this time Freestone can't get in front of. And so it's 3-2 with a bit over halfway through the first quarter. And Fitzpatrick is going to get his 14th of the season. It was unassisted, so that's just going to be him. And two different goal scorers, of course, for the Spartans to start out. As the Spartans come away with the draw.
Horwitz looked like he won the draw, and then somehow combination of losing the handle and then hard work by Matthew Badeau. So the Spartans in possession here. And Badeau sends it over. Owen Matukas with it. And no, the official on the far side of the field making the call, and Florida Southern quickly back the other way. On the move goes Lucas Summers. And out of bounds. Possession still with the visitors. Putting it into play from the corner will be Jeff Atlas. And the Spartans mascot even out in the crowd tonight, hyping up the crowd. This is Atlas with it. Atlas looking to go one-on-one. And nice defensive play there by Matthew Badeau to cause the turnover. And off to the races goes Brady Stoll. Stoll across midfield and drops off a pass for Owen Matukis. A nice job there causing the turnover. The Spartans have caused 3 turnovers already in this game. And hoping to capitalize here is this Kilkowski. His pass over for Colin White. And up top, Daniel Fitzpatrick looked back and there was nobody there. And now a teammate comes on and he opts to hold on to it himself. Pass behind the net to Kilkowski. Kilkowski gets a pick and sends it back up top. And a nice move there. That's Kellen Hoke. Owen Miller now. Miller sends a pass up top. Ethan Paduch over for Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick looking in front. Nothing but red jerseys in front of the net. And does he score? The officials come together to talk about it. And there's no signal yet. And now they do. It's a Spartan goal.
My, oh my. That's all I can say on that play. The Spartans are able to equalize. And just look at this. He gets the defenders, turns around, and Bruce, can you tell me where he fit that shot? I for the life of me, there's no way he could have fit that in. That's unbelievable.
That's the lacrosse version of what they say in the NHL when Trevor Zegras scores lacrosse-style goals for the Anaheim Ducks. That's what he's emulating. And so an amazing job there by Fitzpatrick to drop that one in behind Maxwell Freestone. And the Spartans rally from a 3-1 hold to tie the game with 3:54 to go in the first.
Fitzpatrick, an amazing goal right there. And as you mentioned, Trevor Zegras, Avon Old Farms alum, shout out, and a legendary NHL player. A big future for him here. And I imagine that Fitzpatrick, hopefully we'll see a bigger future here as he maybe can have a few more of those types of goals. The Spartans could certainly use them. It's still tied 3-3. Play resumes with around 3:43 to go in the first quarter.
And for the Mocs, Medeiros over for Minor. And he gets it right back from Edward May. And here's Medeiros again. Medeiros hits the Tampa line. A little burst of speed for him. And now there's a shot that Ulmer stops and quickly outlets. And off goes Christian Barodiak. Barodiak with a nice burst of speed. Barodiak across the Mocs line. A draw pass. And the Spartans move it around quickly. And that one's knocked down. And the Spartans have to restart the offense. Luke McEnany, and no. The official right there on the spot to call the change of possession. And so the Mocs will start out from the other side of the field. And they cross midfield. And both teams will make some personnel changes here as the Mocs have it in front of the Tampa sideline. Pass over now for May. Edward May as Jay Minor steps on the field and a pass over to him. Minor steps across the Spartans line. Pass deep in behind the Spartans net to Jeff Atlas. Atlas slowing things up in the corner and now starts his move. And good pressure there defensively by Christian Barodiak. Although Atlas is not giving up. Pressure there. Can the Spartans cause another turnover? The ball's loose. And the official right there calling it. You might hear the crowd in the background moaning their displeasure.
Even though I'm a Tampa fan, I have to agree with the ref. I think that they were just a little too rough with defending that play. So the Mocs will regain possession here. Atlas, a good job to hold the ball throughout all of that, though.
And look at that. Christian Barodiak says, I'm not going to let that whistle change my play. Staying aggressive. And there's a spin shot by Sean Nolan that goes way down Kennedy Boulevard.
Now, if that's a baseball hit or a softball hit, that's a home run. For lacrosse, it just means you got to reset possession.
And play resumes in behind the Spartans net. And a bounce shot there taken by May. And the Mocs, with 19 seconds left on the shot clock, put it back in play from the corner. 1:25 to go in the opening quarter. And the Mocs shot clock winding down. Let's see if they can get one. That one is off goal. And so just 4 seconds left. And Jeff Atlas is going to have to do something quick or just let the shot clock expire as it resumes, and he just throws it away. So a nice defensive stand by the Spartans.
They were able to hold out multiple chances from the Mocs. Good saves and very good defense. And now they'll have a chance. No more shot clock as it is past the 80-second mark, which means Tampa could hold it out for the rest of the quarter if they like. But obviously, they're going to want to try to find that fourth to lead entering the break.
Matukis scores! The goaltender Freestone had come way out of net and was out of position and exploited by Owen Matukis. And so the Spartans, with 57 seconds left in the first quarter, retake the lead. It's 4-3.
Yeah, I think the definition for this type of goal is just caught lacking, because the goalie way out wasn't not in any position that he could try to save that one. Matukis sees it and says, hey, here's an open goal. Why didn't I try to eat it from all the way from half field? And he does, and he scores. The Tampa will now lead 4-3. So a good heads-up play for the Spartans and almost a heads-down play for the Mocs right there.
Yeah, Owen Matukis is going to have to send a thank you card to Maxwell Freestone for that one as play resumes here. And the Mocs hope to answer back before the quarter expires. Some changes being made personnel-wise. And just stepping onto the field for Florida Southern was Clayton Mensch. And now he gets it right back. Swings it over for Atlas. Atlas with 25 left in the quarter. Pass that connects now with Sean Nolan. Nolan being watched back there by Casey Platanek. Starts his move. 10 seconds left in the quarter. And up top with it. Mensch, a pass that misses. And just 2 seconds left. They're going to say it's still the Mocs ball. But I don't know that they'll get a shot off. And in fact, they don't. So we reach the end of the first quarter with the Spartans in the lead 4-3. We'll be back with the second quarter here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
Halfway line, midfield.
Back live here and about ready to start the second quarter. The Spartans in the lead 4-3. They outshot Florida Southern 7-4 in the first quarter. Faceoffs were actually 5-3 in favor of Florida Southern. And we're set now as the teams, of course, have switched ends. And the faceoff is going to be won by Hunter Turner. And he comes down to quick passing by the Spartans and nothing available in front as Kilkowski takes it behind the Florida Southern net. And now on the far side of the field is McEnany. And here comes Nick Papa. Back to McEnany. And in behind the net, Kilkowski over for Colin White. Up top now, Bolish to Papa. And a relay back to Bolish. And he's on the move, skips across the Florida Southern line. Sends a pass back, quick movement, and a long shot coming. Oh, good save there by Freestone off the stick of Ronan Sanchez as a bunch of them battle on the end line behind the Florida Southern net, and the official there calling it in favor of the Mocs.
And yeah, just a few seconds earlier, what a save by Freestone. Putting his body on the line, as that was a pretty hard shot, but he got in front of it, kept it out of the net, and now the Mocs have a chance to try to claw back into the game. They had a great start going up 3-1, but the Spartans had scored 3 unanswered late in the first quarter. That's why they lead 4-3. Tampa's bench is cheering as the Spartans now regain possession.
Spartans working here offensively. This is Colin White. And up top with it, Sanchez playing catch. This is Bolish. And now over to Nick Papa. Papa has a little bit of room, sends it into the corner. And now behind the Florida Southern net, that's Kilkowski. A little spin move to break free. Kilkowski spins, and a good save there by Freestone. Kilkowski came into tonight's game second on the Spartans in points. As the Mocs an opportunity in front, and they score. That's Flammenspec.
It's a good goal there by Flammenspec, but a flag has also come on. Looks like one of the Mocs is down after a hit. See the replay. It's a great shot. They were able to get a 2-on-1 against a Spartan defender and took advantage of it to get a nice open look and capitalize to equalize the game. But a Moc is down, and we can only hope he's A-okay.
That's the second goal of the game for Matt Flammenspec, and it comes 2 minutes and 8 seconds into the second quarter. And momentum seemed like it was going the Spartans' way, but that's all it takes to pop their balloon, as that one goal quiets the crowd and evens the game at 4-4. And we'll take a quick timeout here for this injury. You're watching Tampa Spartans Lacrosse on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network. And going off the field was Sean Nolan, the injured Florida Southern player. And a penalty is being called against Charlie Bolish. 1 minute for an illegal body check. And so the first extra man for Florida Southern in this game. And let's see how they do with the opportunity, although now they get control of the faceoff. I was going to say it starts with having to get possession first. And Kevin Horowitz wins it, keeps it, drops it off, and now he heads off the field as Andrew Medeiros drops it back for May. And we're going to have a timeout called here, presumably by Florida Southern. So we will step away and be right back with more Tampa Spartans Lacrosse on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major, as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
Back live following the timeout by Florida Southern. Still 43 seconds left on the penalty against Charlie Bolish. And up top with it now. That's May. Flips it into the corner. A pass. Shot coming, and Ulmer gets a piece of that one and thought he was going to pull down the rebound. And possession does go to the Spartans. And starting it up as Matthew Badeau. Nice burst of speed there. Slows it down and gestures for one of his teammates. And that's Harry Kilkowski, who responds, receives the pass, and now takes it in behind the Mocs net. Kilkowski, who does have one of the 4 Spartan goals so far, working in the far corner. And the penalty has expired, so the Spartans successfully kill off the call against Charlie Bolish, and that's him with it now. Bolish across the Florida Southern line. Dropped, picked up. Owen Miller with it now. And Miller looking to go one-on-one here. And tries to get past the defender. He's bumped, sends a pass over for Colin White. Here's Ethan Paduch. Paduch is bumped, sends a pass over, and wanting to shoot was Owen Miller, and now he steps past a check, takes a shot, scores! And a great shot there as the Spartans retake the lead. It's 5-4.
When they killed the penalty, I think they killed the Mocs run that they were getting. It was a great play right here. It just gets right by his defender and fires an absolute laser into the goal. So good job by Owen Miller there. And that's going to put the Spartans up by 1 with 11:04 to go in the quarter. And that is going to be Miller's first goal of the game. He did have a shot earlier that hadn't gone in.
4 different goal scorers for the Spartans so far. And for Owen Miller, that is his 22nd goal of the season. As you see, the Spartans, now they're going to call a procedure violation against UT.
And you could see a little bit of disapproval from the Tampa fans. A lot of them have come in, and we are nearly fully packed on the right side of the stands. It's not as hard to, or it's a little harder to see from the stream point of view, but up here in the booth, we can see the seats full of happy Spartan fans, and to the left, quite a few Mocs fans are here as well. So a great night here at the Namoli Family Intramural Complex.
And now on the run, that's Jackson Day. Day pops out on the other side. Up top with it now. That's Fitzpatrick. Fitzpatrick switches hands. And now Kilkowski with it behind the net. Kilkowski spins, takes a shot, and that was deflected. And it goes out of play, still Tampa ball. It's a celebration tonight of the 10-year anniversary of Tampa Spartans lacrosse. A lot of alumni here watching this game in person. And watching Daniel Fitzpatrick go to work right now. He drops a pass back. This is Owen Miller. Miller takes a shot, and another save made by Maxwell Freestone. And he's been busy here as he watches his team start back up the field. And it's sent across to the other side as the Mocs try to gain midfield. Freestone with 6 saves already, just 2 for Ulmer, and a broken stick on the field as the Mocs continue on across the Tampa line. And there's a pass over as this is Brendan Glasser. And Glasser has a goal and an assist in this game. Up top of it, that's Jeff Atlas on the far side of the field. Atlas switches hands and Ulmer makes the save. It's a pair of threes going head to head there. Atlas and Brady Stoll.
Speaking of threes, that's Ulmer's 3rd save tonight. And a good one at that, because that was not an easy shot to stop. So he's a good job to preserve the Spartan lead as they're now able to take it up past the halfway line.
Christian Brodiak drops it back. And Christian Ciccini. Charlie Bolish with it now. Bolish looks to pass it back and sends it behind the net instead. And that's Kilkowski on the move. Kilkowski, a pass in the middle. Oh, and unable to handle it was Luke McEnany. He was thinking shoot before he even engaged the pass. And now it's sent over instead as Sean Nolan has it for Florida Southern.
Good to see Nolan back on the field. He went down earlier and was down for a little while until he was helped off, but he's back in, and I think he's going to be hungry after getting hit to try to score a goal to get the Mocs back into it. The ball's going to go out, and the Mocsons won't keep possession. It'll head back to the Spartans.
Yeah, and credit Cormac McCarthy there for working over Jeff Atlas and in a roundabout way, causing that turnover. And we're going to have a timeout called now with 7:57 left in the second quarter. That's Florida Southern calling this timeout, and we will call a timeout as well. You're watching Tampa Spartans Lacrosse on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, community engagement is an initiative at all 25 national championships because student athletes want to give back while competing for a national title. Over the course of the year, Division II student athletes have an opportunity to leave a lasting impression in local communities throughout the country. Whether Division II student athletes are volunteering at hospitals, schools, after-school care programs, foster homes, or retirement villages, they make a difference in the lives of others. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Baseball for me just kind of was the glue that kept my family together. I feel like I was able to come here and get my triple major as well as play a super high level of baseball against some of the best players in the country. There's a lot of options here in Division II with a lot of great ball players and a lot of great people, and they make sure that they give you every opportunity to succeed on and off the field.
Yeah, well, there's no baseball there.
And we're back following the Florida Southern timeout. Spartans clinging to a 1-goal lead with 7:57 left here in the second quarter, and a very entertaining Saturday night of lacrosse being played here. I'm Bruce Wozniak along with Taylor Stolworthy. Glad you could be with us for this Sunshine State Conference matchup between two lacrosse heavyweights. Spartans ranked number 1. They are unbeaten, and the Mocs ranked number 11, boasting a 9-3 one-loss record as UT trying to gain midfield and do. That's Jackson Day. And now Day to Owen Miller. Miller checking his options. And now gives it to Charlie Bolish. And sent over now to Daniel Fitzpatrick, who had just stepped on the field. Fitzpatrick to Bolish. Bolish crosses the line. Jogs it down past his own sideline. And from the far side of the field, here comes Charlie Bolish. puts the brakes on in a spin move, and he's going to have to send it back up top. Owen Miller will try from the other side. Miller, a pass down low. Kilkowski, that one missed McEnany, and it's going to be chased down. And the Spartans will turn it over as the Mocs quickly try to capitalize and go back the other way. Some quick passing here by Florida Southern. And Atlas, as a couple of Florida Southern players will go off the field. They make some personnel changes. And up top with it is Edward May, and flips that one over to Medeiros, who had just stepped on the field. Medeiros sends a pass behind the Spartans' net. And I was going to say gets it right back. He lost sight of it. And Owen Matukas is Johnny on the spot, picks it up and sends it up ahead to Christian Brodiak. Brodiak on the run. Brodiak and takes it all the way down in behind the Mocs net. Kilkowski, and I thought that Brodiak, with the momentum that he had, was going to opt to shoot and just carried himself all the way behind the net instead, but the Spartans slow it down and try to set things up here with 5:51 left in the second quarter and a 1-goal lead. Owen Miller gets around his man, sends a pass back up top. Fitzpatrick, a long shot, scores! Daniel Fitzpatrick, how about that one? And what a game he's having. That's his third goal of the game.
Dan, the man, completing a hat trick with that long-range beauty. He gets the ball and he says, hey, let me just try to take a shot right here. He does, and it's one that Freestone can't stop. Freestone has been great so far. 6 saves so far and a 50% save rate, but that one isn't one of those 6. It gives the Spartans a 2-goal lead. The first time either team has been able to get a 2-goal lead since the first quarter when the Moccasins led 3-1, and that was until, and then afterwards, the Spartans had 3 unanswered. The Mocs will be hoping for that to repeat. The Spartans are hoping they can just try to keep scoring, as they're going to now get it up into the attacking third.
That's Jackson Day, and leaves it back for Kilkowski. Kilkowski in behind the Mocs net. Kilkowski starts his move, slows it up. And Kilkowski with a change of pace and a change of direction, and goes back in behind the Florida Southern net once again. Kilkowski, the far corner now, and a pass over, and over on the sideline in front of the Spartans was Nick Papa, sent it up to Bolish and now gets it back. Papa draws 2 defenders over, someone's open. Bolish slips it inside, there's a bounce shot, they score! And that's going to be Luke McEnany. And the Spartans all of a sudden jump out to a 3-goal lead with 4:45 left.
And it is what the doctor ordered for the Spartans. McEnany able to get a goal, and we see that replay. Absolutely beautiful. Charlie Belesh is going to be able to get the assist there. And that was
Luke
just
McEnany,
a great shot and a great goal.
He came into tonight's game leading the Spartans in goals and points. And that was his 26th goal of the season. And now another opportunity, a pass that misses, and it goes out of play on the far side of the field. And it looks like we might have another timeout being called here, although I have to wonder if maybe this is the Spartans. In any event, we will take a timeout as well and be right back with more on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
This is the University of Tampa. Explore your dreams. Discover your talents. Get ready to invent, innovate, and be a leader. This is the University of Tampa.
Back live following what was a timeout by the Spartans, and they have opened up a 7-4 lead. An important Sunshine State Conference matchup as UT looking for more as they will put the ball in play here, and a big challenge for Florida Southern defensively as they need some kind of shot in the arm here.
They're going to need a little bit of adrenaline, something to kick them back into gear, because the Spartans have been able to capitalize back to back to back. The question is, can the Spartans keep piling it on and maybe try to get away with it? Or will the Mocs be able to respond and try to ruin the rivals' anniversary night? Spartans still holding it at the top here.
Fitzpatrick, and quick passing, and Colin White gets a shot away, but that was deflected. And tremendous hustle on the far side of the field, and it does pay off as the official right there to call it for UT. And Fitzpatrick up top now, over for Paduch. And Paduch with a little spin move gives up a pass, and looking to take a long shot was Fitzpatrick, and does, and that one goes high and out of play. If you've just joined us, Daniel Fitzpatrick has 3 of the 7 Spartan goals. And even if you didn't just join us, he still has 3 of the 7 goals as that one goes out of play. And the Spartans keep possession with 31 seconds still on the shot clock.
It looked like a save by Freestone, his 7th of the game.
Passing in front, they score! Colin White. And terrific passing, a tremendous goal. And the Spartans, an 8-4 lead now.
And you know, in soccer, you'd call that true tiki-taka. Beautiful passing to find the open man. Tampa's ball movement has been incredible today. And that goal right there, the pass inside and the open, close-range look, has given the Spartans a 4-goal lead. Spartans showing why they're one of the best in the country, and scratch one of the best. They are the one ranked number 1 in the nation. And now the draw will be had right here. That goal was by Colin White and assisted by Owen Miller. This time it's going to be the Mocs coming away with it.
So the home team has really broken it open here in the second quarter. It was only a 1-goal game at the end of the first quarter. The Spartans were winning 4-3, but they've outscored Florida Southern 4-1 here in the second for this current 8-4 margin. And now Florida Southern going to work on offense. And there's a pass. This is Brendan Glasser. Glasser, a pass in the middle, is knocked down. And a good job there by the Spartans. As off they go the other direction. Owen Matukas across midfield. Matukas across the Mocs line. A pass for Brodiak. And over to McEnany. Right in front, Colin White scores! Well, there's a flag thrown. The goal does stand. And so McEnany makes it 9-4 as McEnany gets his second goal of the game.
The goal was by Colin White. And that is... Yeah, it was Kukowski on the assist. Beautiful ball movement for that shot. And he's hit while he's shooting, which is why the flag went up. So apart from the goal, the Spartans will also most likely get a man advantage. So things have gone from bad to worse for the Mocs. They're going to need to kill this penalty, or else it can start to get a little uglier. That being said, the Mocs need a shot in the arm. You know what was the shot in the arm for the Spartans in the first? A penalty kill. The Mocs could have gotten that on their own if they're able to kill it here. But conversely, it could also be another keg in the wheel for Spartan success. An unnecessary roughness there called on Brendan Glasser. It's a 1-minute penalty, and the Spartans immediately after that regained possession.
Yeah, talk about things going from bad to worse. Allowing the goal by Colin White, and now putting themselves a man short for potentially a minute. That's best case scenario. If they kill it off, the Spartans going to work here with the extra man. And Paduch tries to find his way inside. Up top of it, Miller. And he gets it right back. Miller passed down low, and White shot, and the follow through, the ball went the other way on him. And so Florida Southern and now the Spartans take it away and come right back. Still 21 on the penalty. And a timeout is going to be called. And I think head coach J.B. Clark wants to draw something up to try to get an extra man goal, as there's still 19 seconds left in the call against Glasser. So we will take a timeout as well and be back with more Tampa Spartans lacrosse on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
Just another ordinary day at UT.
And the timeout has expired. Spartans put it back into play. Owen Miller, as we're down to 2 minutes left here in the first half. Miller up top. Pass over for McEnany. McEnany up top with it. It's Cole Willard. And now Paduch on the pass from Miller. And Willard recovers on the far side. Owen Miller with it. Paduch, the penalty has expired against Florida Southern. Still 37 on the shot clock, 90 seconds on the game clock as we wind down towards halftime. McEnany in front, couldn't hold on to it to get a quality shot away, and Florida Southern goes back the other way. And on the run with it and slowing things down is Vin Dawkins. And Dawkins sends a pass over. Nolan. And sliding over to watch him was Brady Stoll. Far side of the field. And up top now for Jay Minor. The Mocs making some changes personnel-wise. Down to 45 seconds in the second quarter. And there's a pass, and they send it in behind the net. And they score! And it looks like Blake Ulmer, they wave it off because Blake Ulmer looked at the officials right away and asked for and got a crease violation called against Florida Southern.
That crease violation's unfortunate for Florida Southern. This goal would have been the shot in the arm they needed to get back into this one, but Tampa had one disallowed because of a crease violation, and Florida Southern has had one too. In this circumstance, I think it's worse for the Mocs than it was for the Spartans, but now they're back in the attack the chance from behind the net.
And the shot it looked like it was going to be taken by Miller. They need to get it away quickly. Only 5 seconds on the game clock. The quarter is going to expire, and that one was handled by Freestone. And the official actually stops play with just 1 second left in the second quarter. And let's see where he's going to restart from, because unless it's going to be something extreme, nothing is going to happen in this final 1 second. And it's going to be the Mocs who are going to put the ball in play from midfield. And just like that, it was all for nothing. As the quarter expires, the half expires, the teams get ready to head to the break. And so UT with a big 9-4 lead after outscoring Florida Southern 5-1 in the second quarter. So we will take a break for halftime and ask you to rejoin us for the start of the third quarter here on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
Appreciate it. We also have our previous coach of 9 years, Coach Rory Whipple, here. So if you guys can get up for him as well. Thank you guys so much for coming out. We really appreciate it. Hope you guys have a great night tonight. And now we want you guys to get up and start screaming, because we got t-shirts to throw out.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
'20 Spartans, one of the best collegiate lacrosse teams of all time.
In NCAA Division II, student athletes leave a lasting impression on their communities. That's because Division II student athletes want to make a difference and truly be part of their surrounding communities. Through community engagement, thousands of student athletes from various backgrounds interact with community members who view them as role models. This interaction leaves a positive and perhaps even life-changing impression on all those involved. In Division II, we rise to the opportunity and make community engagement ours.
Yeah, that was that was an interesting hit. I'll say that. Looks like it was Cormac McCarthy there, and he's gonna have a little penalty, and definitely deserved. It was a rough hit, and we were saying because the game had been slipping for the Mocs previously, as the Spartans were able to really take control in the second quarter. They need a shot in the arm, and what's a better way to do it than get a nice little man advantage to start out the second half? They're down by 5, so they'll need more than just this, but one goal can be all you need to get momentum. So as they have possession now, looking for it around the net.
So an illegal body check call there against Cormac McCarthy, a 1-minute penalty. And the Mocs hoping to strike quickly here as the second half begins. And they have it up top. Still with 30 seconds left on the Spartans penalty. And a pass over now for Atlas. Back up top. And back to Miner once again. Scores! Jay Miner. And so 54 seconds into the third quarter, the Mocs make it 9-5.
Yeah, and that's just a great shot, as we'll see right here. Good defense to prevent that long shot. This time he gets the window and fires it. It's a good attempt in the save by Omer, but it gets low and stops him. So it's going to be Miner's second goal of the game. And there are 2 players with 2 goals so far for the Mocs. Flamen, Speck, and Miner. And I know Miner will be absolutely loving that shot and goal. That's one that you want to put on the highlight reel. A really good one. And for the Spartans, they'll be back at even strength, but
Hunter Turner and Kevin Horwitz on the faceoff. Turner wins it and absorbs a check. And nice job by him to hang on, although a pass that he sends up ahead for Sean Nizolek results in a turnover as the Mocs have it again. That's Jeff Atlas with it. And this is why you cannot let your guard down whatsoever. The Mocs suddenly with a chance here to maybe score again and very quickly cut what was a 5-goal halftime deficit to 3. As this is Miner who just scored the goal. Jay Miner with a little spin move and now sends a pass in behind the Spartans' net quickly out to the other side. Pass right in front, and it missed. It was intended for Flamenspeck. And so the Spartans, now a flag comes out on the far side of the field, and 1:54 into the third quarter. Things starting to get a little testy down there.
I'll say you can definitely tell that these two are rivals. And if there was any love in the first quarter, there's negative love here. Already some big hits. We see players going to the ground, and another flag has come out. And this time it looks like that's going to be on the Mocs.
Sean Nolan, a 30-second holding penalty. And the pendulum swings back now, perhaps for the Spartans, as they get the extra man and hope to answer right back from the Jay Miner goal that brought the Mocs within 9-5. As tiptoeing on the end line was Kilkowski. And now here's Owen Miller wanting to shoot, passes instead. And Paduch with a long shot that's handled there by Freestone. And now the Mocs started up as the penalty expires. And so they're back at full strength. They play it back to Freestone. And he goes over to the other side of the field to Zach Fitzgerald. And there's a pass that connects. And no opportunity to get a shot away. Bryden Robichaux and the Spartans, the hard hitting continues, and they have possession now. And stopping there is Brady Stoll. This is Owen Matukas across midfield. Matukas across the Mocs line, and a flag comes out. And we're going to have another call against Florida Southern here as Kilkowski takes it in behind the Florida Southern net. Kilkowski has some room to work. A pass in front. Scores! Luke McEnany. And it's a 10-5 Spartans lead.
The Spartans fire right back after that opening goal. A great screen led to him getting around the defender to get that pass inside for the shot right on target. McEnany with the goal right there. The assist by Kilkowski. That's a second goal for McEnany and a second assist for Kilkowski here. Now, just like that 5-goal deficit is back at 5. The Mocs were able to get that good start, but the Spartans said, not so fast. We're still in control here. And yeah, they were able to get a nice little capitalize off the delayed penalty situation.
And Taylor, certainly head coach Marty Ward, has to tell the Mocs, composure, composure.
And a big hit right there, a mock down. And there was a rough check there.
Yeah, and that's what I'm talking about. With this game starting to get this physical, there's going to be a tendency for the Mocs to want to retaliate. And down by 5 goals, they've really got to, unfortunately, restrain themselves. Otherwise, they might put themselves in a deeper hole, and you don't want to see anybody get hurt. But the fact of the matter is that if you put yourself a man short, you're still injuring your team metaphorically.
Exactly. Although, a little bit of good news for Mocs fans. Their player is A-OK. He's getting off the field. On that play, it was Kevin Horwitz. Horwitz walking off in his own power. It looked like he just had the wind knocked out of him there. It was a really rough check from Brady Stoll. And I'm almost a little surprised there wasn't a flag there, but even though it was a rough check, the refs deem it to be legal. And now the Spartans will regain possession here.
And they're going to have to hope that he can come back because Horwitz is their face-off specialist, and the Mocs have won 9 of the 17 face-offs so far, as Horwitz does the heavy lifting in the circle. And now his team trails by 5 after the McEnany goal. And UT in possession here once again. McEnany now has 2 goals, as does Colin White. And the Spartans have gotten 3 goals from Daniel Fitzpatrick. So 70% of the goals for UT coming from those 3 players. As there's a pass up top now for Owen Miller. Over for Charlie Bolish. Bolish spins, jukes back the other way, and Bolish takes a shot. And it skips all the way out to midfield. A huge goalpost rebound. And possession stays with the Spartans. Fitzpatrick on the far side. Fitzpatrick on the move. Stops and restarts. McEnany wants it, gets it. Up top with it. Here's Bolish. Bolish, a little flip pass for Owen Miller. Miller sends it over for Kilkowski. Kilkowski looks, waits, bounces around behind the Mocs goal, and now comes out in front, sends a pass up top that Fitzpatrick couldn't corral, and Fitzpatrick whacks at it, and the Mocs come up with it initially, but now there's another loose ball, and another flag comes out. Pass up ahead, the Mocs break in, and Ulmer makes the save, and the crowd roars its approval as a second flag has been thrown now, and the clock stops with 9:36 left here in the third quarter. And Taylor, a lot happening down on the field and not necessarily balls going in the net.
Yeah, I mean, on that play, a flag went off. There was all types of hacking and defensive attempts there from the Spartans to try to stop that fast break. But the Mocs were able to drive it up and get a one-on-one chance, but Ulmer denied it with a brilliant save. Even though the Spartans are able to breathe out after a very stressful situation, they're going to be put back into the fire after getting out of the frying pan, because it looks like there will be 1 or potentially 2 penalties now for the Spartans that they're going to have to serve. And it looks like just 1 for the moment, but...
Yeah, J.B. Clark is over there obviously voicing his displeasure as the official right there who had been giving the information to the scorers table catches the ear of the Tampa coach. And so the call being made down on the field. And the Mocs waiting for the go-ahead for the restart.
And we actually see a second player down over there at the penalty spot.
Yeah, calls against both Bolish and Christopher Sesla. 1 minute for unnecessary roughness.
And you can see a true advantage here for the Mocs. 6-on-4 situation in the final attacking third.
And here they go as they work it into the corner and now behind the Spartans' net.
And this is just like the practice drills you'll have.
Miner flips the pass, gets it right back, and they move it quickly around the perimeter and up top to Miner again. Miner takes a bounce shot, and Ulmer got a piece of that one, and it rolls out of bounds. And the official right there on the spot awards possession to the Mocs, and a handful of fans express their displeasure. And there's a shot that goes out of play off the stick of Edward May, and possession to the Spartans as there's 25 seconds left in the penalties to Bolish and Sesla. And so now UT will work it up the field and try to kill off the remainder of those two penalties as they get it across midfield. Sean Nazolik being chased, leaves it for Matukas, and Matukas goes across the Mocs line. 5 seconds left in the penalties, and a pass back for Jackson Day. Scores! How about that? So a huge turn of events as the Mocs went from having a 6-on-4 down in the offensive end to all of a sudden the Spartans come back down the other way, and as the penalties expire, they beat Freestone to take an 11-5 lead.
Yeah, I mean, that's not only a goal, that's really nicely placed from long range. That's a shorthanded goal when you're down 2 men. If that's not the anti-shot in the arm for Moccasins, I don't know what is. For the Spartans, that's amazing. For the Moccasins, I'd say that's heartbreaking. But they've got it right back. They win the face-off back into the offensive third. And that's the type of penalty that not only were they not able to score, what hurts even more is the fact that they conceded on it. So,
and speaking of being hurt, you did mention before that Kevin Horowitz went off the field, their face-off specialist, and so Lucas Summers took that face-off for them. You did mention that they won the face-off, but it doesn't it doesn't help to have your best face-off man presumably somewhere on the sidelines after we saw him leave with some sort of nick, cut, scrape, whatever it is that left him out of the face-off circle that time around. And UT in a 6-goal lead here as you see the loose ball, and it looks like the Spartans are going to come away with it. There's a play by Sam Collingwood, and Ulmer settles it down, and now the Spartans start out of their own end. Casey Platanek, and he'll play it back for Brady Stoll.
that was a great defensive play, almost out of bounds. He's just able to lob it up and keep it in play, and it's able to be picked up by Ulmer for the Spartans to get back on the attack right here.
Owen Miller waiting. Stepping out onto the field was Cole Willard. And now joining them is Nick Papa. This is him with the ball on the far side. And back up top to Miller. Back over for Papa once again. And this game was 4-3 at the end of the first quarter, which means that the Spartans have outscored the Mocs 7-2 ever since. And looking for more, here's Willard. A pass, Miller with a shot coming. And did Freestone get a piece of that one? The possession stays with the Spartans. And 18 on the shot clock for them now as Kilkowski sends a pass over to the far side. Nick Papa on the move. Papa fends off the check, takes a shot, and Freestone makes the save, but I think it actually caught him a little bit off guard. I'm not sure that he was really ready for that shot.
Yeah, and that can catch you off guard. Sometimes you're not sure whether a player's going to want to get closer or fire from long range. He did a good job of reacting in time, though, to make sure it didn't make it a 12-5 game. And there is some more aggressive contact there. And the Mocs will regain possession here.
Yeah, Matthew Badeau thought that he had caused the turnover, and the officials right there on the spot to say absolutely not. And possession stays with Florida Southern. And now a pass over. Bryden Robichaux. Nobody said that these two teams like each other. Just because they're geographically close doesn't mean they're emotionally close. And we're seeing that, especially here in the third quarter. I mean, it was an emotional first half, two obvious rivals, but for some reason, something at halftime just kind of lit the fuse for both teams.
And forget no love lost. It's all hate gained right here.
And the Mocs throw that one away.
Yeah, and the crowd is loving it. Just not only the action, the intensity, but the turnover there gets the Spartans fans excited.
And now Matthew Badeau will start it up for the home team. His pass up ahead, Matukis. And this is Christian Brodiak. Both teams making personnel changes, and away goes Daniel Fitzpatrick. And now he'll slow things up as Ethan Paduch steps out onto the field along with Owen Miller. Fitzpatrick still with it. Now Miller. Miller on the run, and Owen Miller backs off. Owen Miller with a goal and an assist in this game, and Fitzpatrick wants another one. He has 3 so far. They score! Luke McEnany, and he gets his third of the night. And UT now in front 12-5.
Fitzpatrick at first is thinking, hey, let me get a shot. And then he sees McEnany get a little open, and he says, you know what, maybe an assist will be good. As McEnany fires it right past Freestone. So it's Fitzpatrick on the assist, McEnany on the goal. McEnany, third of the night, and Fitzpatrick's first assist, but 4th point, as he had also had a hat trick already. The Spartans now lead 12-5. And, yeah, I mean, that was just a really good shot. Freestone missed it, but
a little bit of good news for the Mocs, as that was Kevin Horowitz on the faceoff, so he's well enough that he's back in the game. Whatever his injury was before, that's him with the ball now. And he sends a pass up ahead.
We'd seen Nolan go out earlier and Horowitz, but both are back in the game and ready to go after having some rough hits and going down. So it's good to see that the minor injuries aren't serious enough to prevent them from playing, because injuries are painful for everyone, not just the players, but the fans. But now the Spartans
cause a turnover. Colin White takes a shot, and a save made there by Freestone. And that was the result of a caused turnover by UT. And amazing, in that category tonight, do not adjust your sets. 11 caused turnovers by the Spartans, only 1 by the Mocs.
Do you think that's number 12 after that pass goes a little bit errant?
Here they come looking for more. Matukis takes a shot, and it goes out of play.
And I have to say, it's hard because we're trying to highlight some fun stats, and there's not a lot of time to, because it is a game moving at 100 miles an hour, action-packed front to back, with shots and crazy hits and everything.
Charlie Bolish with it now. Bolish goes one-on-one. Can't shake the defender. Twists and turns and now sends a pass in the middle and gets it right back. Bolish, wanted to shoot, and a defender slides out to help on him, and there's a loose ball, and Bolish picks it up and sends it over for Willard. And Willard, a little backhand pass to Bolish, and now back to Willard again. And Willard says, let me try it from this side. Willard slides inside, takes a shot that goes wide and out of play. And a crease violation called on UT. And so the Mocs with a chance here as the clock is down to 2:53 left here in the third quarter. Zach Fitzgerald starts it up. His pass up ahead, and a nice play there by Charlie Bolish. A loose ball. And let's see who comes out with it. A bunch of them still battle for it, and it's Ronan Sanchez for the Spartans. Away he goes. Sanchez with a pass to McEnany in front. They score! Colin White. And the Spartans pouring it on now. It's 13-5.
And just a shot at this replay really quick. It's brought up past the midfield line, taken to the left, flip back to the right, fakes the shot to the right, and then fires it left to beat Freestone. And at point blank, that's a pretty easy goal for the shooter and a near impossible save. You can't blame Freestone too much on not being able to get in front of that. A perfectly executed fast break by the Spartans, and now they are up by 8. And what started out as an absolutely really close game has really tipped almost completely in the Spartans' favor. We hear the right side of the stands filled with Spartans faithful and alumni visiting for the 10th anniversary game on fire. And the Spartans will come away with it again here, but it looks like it'll go back the other way as the refs pause the flow of play.
And it bears repeating. It was 4-3 Spartans after 1. And so since that point, they have outscored Florida Southern 9-2. And there's 2 minutes, 22 seconds left here in the third quarter.
And I'd actually like to argue that we might as well extend that period back to when Florida Southern had a 3-1 lead in the first quarter. So from that period, it's been 12-2 Spartans on a run since that period of time, just to show how dominant the Spartans have been when they've really locked in. And it hasn't been for the lack of trying for the Moccasins. Freestone has had 9 saves so far, pulling out all the stops on multiple occasions.
And it's been a steady parade over to the penalty area in this game as there's more calls being made here. And the Mocs will have the ball when they restart. And calls against Trey Saunders. Sam Collingwood of Tampa. And I'm sorry, not Trey Saunders, but Griffin Phillips. So 1 minute each to the two of them. And the Mocs, boy, did they have their work cut out for them here. And this is Flammenspec. Bounce shot, and Ulmer got a piece of that one. And coming up with the rebound was Matthew Badeau. And up ahead goes Brady Stoll.
Disappointing there for Flammenwack. He had a great shot there, but Ulmer just a little bit better that time, making a good save. And now the Spartans, low open space.
Owen Matukis with an opportunity, scores! How about that? Owen Matukis going in full speed and beats Maxwell Freestone as the Spartans continue the assault 14-5.
He lit a match and turned on the Jets to make that goal work. I mean, look at this. No one can even close down on him in time, and he gets a nice open look. There will also be a timeout called there. I'd have to guess by Florida Southern as this has gotten out of hand. And we'll be back soon on Tampa Spartans TV on the Sunshine State Conference Network. Thank you for watching, and do stick around. We'll be right back.
Being a champion takes more than talent, more than the perfect pass, more than using your head. Being a champion takes the spirit to always push harder, the ability to overcome any hurdle, and the fire to be the best. Welcome to Division 2, where the pursuit is yours to create. And the question isn't, can you do it? It's, will you?
And we are back following the timeout. And with 1:37 left here in the third quarter, do not adjust your viewing device. It really is 14-5. And I say that in credit to the Mocs. They came into tonight's game 9-3, ranked number 11, and as strong as the Spartans have been this season, undefeated in their first 11 games and ranked number 1. You just don't expect this to be the case when these two teams get together. As a shot taken there by Horowitz goes out of play, and possession stays with Florida Southern. And this is going to be quite the uphill battle for them to find their way back into this game. And now going to work. That was Bryden Robichaux. And here goes Atlas. Atlas with a pass back to Robichaux. The other side of the field, a shot coming. They score. And that's going to be Brendan Glasser. And so the Mocs finally get back into the goal column as Glasser picks up his second goal of the game.
And that's important for the Mocs. They were on a very bad end of a long run, and here it's important to finally get a second goal of the period and half, and a really well-taken shot that's able to beat Ulmer this time. Ulmer had been locking in with some big crucial saves. That time wasn't able to, so Glasser takes the deficit to 8. It's still a 14-6 Spartans lead, but maybe that's a shot in the arm for the Mocs. Maybe that can inject some life and they can start to get back into it. 1:05 left in the third. And the Mocs will pick up possession right here.
Yeah, Kevin Horowitz basically called the face-off violation for the referee, and the official said, sure, I'll go along with that. And so now Florida Southern, with less than a minute to go in the third quarter, they come across the Spartans line. And they work the far side of the field. Some strong defense by the Spartans. Can they cause another turnover? They do. And what a game defensively by UT. Amazing, as you've seen them dominate in that category as they go off to the races. Christian Barodiak, a pass over, a shot coming by Jackson Day, and Freestone makes the save. And now the Mocs will start out. It's worth repeating, the Spartans 12 caused turnovers now in the game and only 1 for Florida Southern, as the Mocs try to cross midfield, and now they do, and hold on, losing the handle on the far side of the field was Brendan Glasser, and so they turn it over. And now a pass over for McEnany, but the quarter expires, and so at the end of 3, the Spartans in an 8-goal lead. It's 14-6 with still 15 minutes remaining. We'll be back with more on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.
You scoop the chair back an inch too far and you're done.
Yeah, and that's happened to me multiple times. And
it's
Back here and ready to start the fourth quarter. And is it presumptuous to say the fourth and final quarter at this point? I think it would be a monumental comeback for the Mocs, needing 8 goals when they've only scored 6 through the first 3 quarters combined. But they're obviously going to give it their best effort as they start the fourth quarter in possession here and have it behind the Spartans' net.
In the press box, there's always a jinx about overtime. So, we'll have to wait and see. The Mocs would need to find a 7th, 8th, maybe 9th gear on their Lacrosse vehicle to try to get enough to make it happen. But maybe they can get that deficit down to 7 with this possession right here.
Atlas trying to help towards goal number 7, spin move, and he has to send it up top. And now over it goes to Glasser. Now a little fake there by Clayton Mensch. Mensch is pushed, sends the pass over, and now they fire it behind the Spartans' net. And that's Sean Nolan. Nolan being guarded by Brady Stoll. And starting out is Robichaux. And the official there on the spot keeps possession with the Mocs, although the shot clock down to just 16. Atlas will put it into play, and they'll have to go to work quickly here to get a shot off on Spartans goaltender Blake Ulmer. And a pass behind the net. 8-7 on the shot clock. And the Mocs, time may run out here, as helped by Owen Matukis and his defense. And in fact, that's the case. Blake Ulmer with 7 saves in the game, 10 saves for Maxwell Freestone, as there's a pass up ahead. And watch out, here comes Christian Brodiak, and a pass in the middle, not corralled by Kilkowski, and it's picked up by the Mocs, but there's some pressure put on by UT. And now a pass quickly out to midfield. And away goes Griffin Phillips. Pass over and right in front. And that one's dropped. And the Spartans will pick up the loose ball.
There was an open look there, and I think he wanted to try to find a better outlet there. And when he did, the pass just connected and not cleanly enough. So you could argue that's a wasted opportunity for the Mocs, who really need to convert everything they can right here for any shot of trying to claw back from this deficit. But the Spartans, not showing any mercy and not letting off the gas at all. They're not resting on their laurels. They want to get up by 9 or even 10.
Charlie Bolish with it. And now Nick Papa. And he'll send it back over for Bolish. Papa once again. And into the corner it goes. White sends a pass over for McEnany. McEnany up top to Bolish. And now here's Nick Papa looking to go one-on-one against the defender. And a pass over Bolish. Here's Ronan Sanchez. A little flip pass and out in front. Scores! That's going to be Christian Cecchini. And the Spartan lead grows to 9. It's 15-6.
And just look at the play by Cecchini. Takes it inside, goes one way, and then is able to fire it past the goalie. It's just, the Spartans, just poetry in motion when you look at their ball movement. Getting it from back and forth to player. Well, it feels like the Mocs, they always are laboring to get it to the guy they want to. The Spartans, it feels like 90% of their passes they could do blindfolded and it would just be as good. It's not even the fact that the Moccasins' defense hasn't been perfect. It's just the Spartans' offense has been on all cylinders from the get-go.
And UT, how about the fact that they have 8 different goal scorers tonight? Your tendency is to be drawn to the fact that Fitzpatrick, White, and McEnany all have 3 each. But head coach J.B. Clark getting offensive contributions from a number of his players now, as the Spartans in a big 9-goal lead in the opening minutes of the fourth quarter.
Along with those goal scorers, there's also 7 assisters, meaning a lot of people also being able to get those final passes for those goals.
And now in behind the Spartans' net, Nolan. And Sean Nolan's going to go back behind the net once again. his pass there, as this is Edward May, and in front it goes, and Ulmer covers it up in his crease. And the Spartans start out of their own end. Brady Stoll with it. And dangerous pass out to midfield, and Platenik handles that one, and a tip of the cap to Jay Miner, and what could have been an easy collision for him to initiate. And he backs off. Some good sportsmanship there. As some changes being made by both teams personnel-wise. Here comes the Spartans, and Fitzpatrick with a burst of speed and puts on the brakes and sends a pass over. And now Owen Miller in possession. Sends it down into the corner. White whips it over the other way, and the Spartans work the perimeter up top. Fitzpatrick moves it to Owen Miller. Miller on the run, and he's bumped enough to take him off course, and they reset up top. Paduch to Fitzpatrick, and that one goes out of play. Possession stays with the Spartans, the shot clock at 22. And now bumped there was Cecchini. Good ball movement by the Spartans here. 12 on the shot clock. Miller can't find a lane. Pass down low. Cecchini scores! Christian Cecchini, I believe that's back-to-back goals for him.
Yeah, he's really come alive right here in the fourth quarter. Getting another goal. And that for Cecchini is going to be his second of the game. And that's just a brilliant play, as we saw in the replay. From up top, he was looking for a shot, didn't find it. Instead, he finds Cecchini down low, who's able to fire it home. And it's now a 10-goal lead for the Spartans. And I have to say, this has just been the Spartans rolling 3 dice for their offense, defense, and goalie, and getting all 6s. Amazing offense, amazing defense, and amazing goalie work.
And good passing by the Mocs, and they score. Matt Flammenspec. And that's going to be his 3rd goal of the game. The 2 Cecchini goals had come 2 minutes, 11 seconds apart. And very quickly, Florida Southern answers back. And so the score now 16-7 with 9:23 remaining.
We barely had time to finish talking about the recent Spartans goal, and Flammenspec is able to go and complete his hat trick. A good goal there and an assist by Jack Frazee. And now that goal, the deficit is back down to 9. But
wow,
it just shows you how fast this game is moving, as the Spartans now will get another shot. The ball is loose.
Great work by Hunter Turner after the face-off. And Luke McEnany slow in getting up. You saw one of his teammates, Hayden Toth, going over to check on him. And McEnany does stay out there. UT in possession and hoping to answer back from that latest goal by the Mocs. And now this is Charlie Bolish over for Sanchez. Sanchez looks and tried to hit Nick Papa, and now Papa's able to pick it up despite the fact that it went off the stick of one of the Florida Southern players. And Papa takes it into the corner. Sends a pass deep in behind the net. That's McEnany. McEnany, a return pass for Papa. And he heads over to the far side of the field and will reset up top with Charlie Bolish. Papa just over the Mocs line. Ducks under a check and wanted to shoot. Sends a pass instead behind the net out in front. Oh, and firing it wide was Ronan Sanchez. And 20 seconds left on the shot clock as the Spartans are still in possession. Here goes McEnany. And the game clock showing now exactly 8 minutes left. And Nick Papa, a pass, and Cecchini wanted his 3rd of the night. The Mocs take over, which is all the same because the shot clock was down to 5 seconds. And so now Florida Southern gains the Tampa line. That's Vin Dawkins. And a pass now, Edward May. May has a lane, takes a shot, and it didn't get through. The rebound is picked up by Florida Southern. And Flammenspec with some nifty footwork to get away from the defense of Charlie Bolish. Here goes Medeiros. Medeiros sends a pass in behind the Spartans' net. And relayed way back up top. And that's Atlas. A defensive switch. And now a shot coming. They score. Jay Miner and Ulmer saw that one the whole way. And Miner just somehow fools him.
And that is just, I think, the perfect shot there from Miner. He fires it from distance. Look at this right here. He just gets it in that low corner. And you see the leg extending from Ulmer. The stick going down. There's just a tiny window that the ball could fit through. You know where Miner put it? Through that window. And that'll complete his hat trick. And I have to say, normally in a deficit like this, teams might shrivel up and die. The Mocs are still fighting and punching with every fiber of their offense and defense. And that shot from Miner shows that this team has a lot of fight in them. And it is still so entertaining to see both sides. The scoreline, I don't think, does justice mainly for the Mocs' effort and ability to continue to keep fighting and find chances like that to get past the Spartans' defense.
Sean Nolan takes it into the corner for Florida Southern and now goes in behind the Spartans' net. And Nolan trying to do it himself, but some strong defense being played by Cormac McCarthy, and so they have to reset up top. And with it now is Miner. Sends it over for May. May tries to beat his defender, and sliding over to help out was Matukis. And now May flips a little pass up top with it. There's a pass, and looked like Miner was going to shoot and has to send it back up top. This is Medeiros. Andrew Medeiros. And the Spartans, away they go in the other direction. Here comes Christian Brodiak. Pass in front, and nice passing, McEnany, and great save there by Freestone. A great chance for the Spartans as Florida Southern tries to go back the other way. There's a pass that misses and a ground ball. And let's see who gets there first. The Spartans, Brady Stoll, seemed like he was going to get it. And finally, he finds the handle, tried to play it back to his goaltender. And there to cover up was Cormac McCarthy, as time is not a friend to Florida Southern at that point, because trailing by 8 and having only scored 8 goals the whole game, they are down to just 5 minutes and 15 seconds left. Personnel changes being made as Kellen Hoke steps onto the field, has the ball for UT, and now he sends it over for Christopher Sesla, who just came on. Sesla across the Mocs line, a little burst of speed, and puts the brakes on. Sends a pass for Hoke. And now over for Cole Willard. Willard, a little spin move. Back up top for Hoke. And Hoke takes a shot and scores. Kellen Hoke with that big 6'3" frame, beating Maxwell Freestone. And our score is 17-8 now with 4:44 left.
And one of the taller Spartans right there, able to get it. Picks up the ball and then fires a shot that just beats Freestone. And I don't know what else to say except this has just been the Spartans' night. That is another great shot that Freestone isn't able to stop. It's put high and away. And it's hard for me to focus. It has been so lightning fast-paced. And even though there have only been 5 goals scored in the fourth quarter, which has been low if you look throughout the other quarters, it has still been just as action-packed, from saves to turnovers to hits. And by the way, that cause-turnover ratio for the Spartans is now 15-2. So you can just see how deadly the Spartans' defense has been. And now the Spartans will have it up on their attacking third once again.
And this is Kellen Hoke. Pass over for Willard. A return pass to Hoke, and looks over the other way and sends it across to Sesla. Sesla stops, back up top with Hoke, and now down low, that's Colin White. And behind the net now, McEnany fires it back to the other side of the field, and Willard crosses the Mocs line. Willard, a little spin move, takes a shot, and Freestone may have gotten a piece of that one. Possession stays with the Spartans as McEnany will put it into play from the corner with 25 on the shot clock. And McEnany heads behind the Mocs net, now sends a pass over to the other side of the field. Willard trying to go one-on-one with the defender and gets a shot off that didn't get through. And now there's a ground ball, and Hoke picks it up and is whacked at. 4 seconds on the shot clock, and he'll just fire from there, Will Kellen Hoke, and it doesn't get through. And so the Mocs head back the other way. Quickly down the field they come, and there's a pass over, and a flag is thrown as a shot is taken, and play continues. There's obviously a penalty coming up here to the Spartans, and this is Flammenspec. Sent down low now. Sean Nolan behind the Spartans net. Nolan, and nobody open in front, so he takes it deep in behind the Spartans net. And now a pass up top. Clayton Mensch starts his move and has a lane, takes a shot. Ulmer makes the save, and the Spartans get the rebound, and so the officials blow the whistle to stop play, as we'll have a call here against UT with 2:36 left in the game.
Ulmer getting his 9th and 10th saves on that play, and it's certainly too late to make the full comeback, but some consolation goals could be in order for the Moccasins to try to get past the 10-goal milestone. And they will have a 1-minute man advantage right here after that penalty is called on the Spartans.
And the Spartans will go on the road after this game on Wednesday. They'll play up at St. Leo, a 7 o'clock start, and then we'll be back here next Saturday afternoon for a 2 o'clock game against Lynn. And the Mocs back to work here. And their next game will be on Wednesday at home against Rollins. And a week from today, they'll be on the road over in Melbourne, taking on Florida Tech. As you see them in possession and work it in behind the Spartans net. Up top now with it. Minor with the pass over down to the corner, and it's in behind the Spartans net. There's a long shot taken by Minor that goes out of play. And now they'll put it back in with 25 on the shot clock. This is Edward May up top. They move the ball quickly. They need to get a shot on goal. Never mind all the passing, if they want to make the final score sound respectable. And there's another one that's thrown away, and that's kind of been the way things have gone for the Mocs tonight, as the game clock is down to just 1:44.
The pass was just offline, and that'll ultimately end the penalty as well, I think. Spartans
just over 100 seconds left, as the Spartans will pick up their 12th victory of the season against no defeats. And Florida Southern on their way to their 4th loss of the year. And this is why the Spartans are ranked number 1. And they'll just take their time here, as Sesla sends a pass over for Willard. And now Willard on the move. 1:06 left in the game. And up top with it, Sesla. And Sesla moves it back up top. Willard, a pass over now for Nick Papa. And up top to Willard once again. Papa, 38 seconds left. And 11 on the shot clock, so the Spartans will have to take one final shot here. Can't kill off the whole game clock. Willard to Papa, and they just throw it away as the shot clock winds down. And so the Mocs should get one last trip down the field here. And let's see if they can do anything with their final offensive opportunity, as the goaltender Freestone plays it over. And bringing it up is Nick Shannon.
Freestone even up into the midfield.
Over to the other side, and now across midfield, 6 seconds And let's see if the Mocs even get a shot away. And there it is. One more save for Blake Ulmer, and the horn goes to end the game, and the Spartans come running out from the sidelines to celebrate with their goaltender Blake Ulmer and the other players who were out on the field as UT, a very, very impressive 17-8 victory, and officially go to 12-0. And for Florida Southern, a disappointing showing here on the road as they fall to 9-4.
Yeah, and even though it was a huge win for the Spartans, that now tanks a 5-game winning streak for the Mocs. Both teams showing a lot of effort and a lot of physicality. No love lost, all hate gained. A little bit less physical in the fourth quarter, but still an absolute, I'd say, maybe not a classic, as it wasn't, I'd say, close enough to be one. But if you were watching, I bet your eyes were not peeled away from the action at any time. Back and forth, nonstop. And at the end right there, Ulmer knocking on an 11th save. And it was actually able to prevent off a good chance there by Glasser, who had gone through a couple Spartan defenders to try to join his teammates in the hat trick club. But Ulmer closed the door right there to keep it at a 17-8 score.
Final shots on goal, 30-19 in favor of the Spartans. And the Mocs held the edge in faceoffs won, 15-11. But as Taylor pointed out in the final stages of the game, amazing. 15 caused turnovers by the Spartans and just 2 in that category by the Mocs.
And turnovers in general, the Tampa only had 12 to Florida Southern's 28.
And we do want to highlight, with 3 goals apiece tonight for the Spartans, Daniel Fitzpatrick, Luke McEnany, and Colin White. And each of them also had an assist. Some players with 3-point games. Owen Matukas had 2 goals and an assist, while Harry Kilkowski and Owen Miller each had a goal and 2 assists. Florida Southern, they get 2 players with hat tricks, that being Flamen, Speck, and Minor, but nowhere near enough as the Spartans dominant. They went from a 4-3 lead at the end of the first quarter to a 17-8 victory. So I'm Bruce Wozniak for Taylor Stolworthy. Our thanks to Andre Pyatt as always. Thank you for being with us. You've been watching Tampa Spartans Lacrosse on the Sunshine State Conference Digital Network.